Hello friends, how are you all? Let us start with the next topic. So in the previous lecture, already completed the exceptions to the law of supply. Now we will see the variations in supply. Variations, that means when quantity supplied of a commodity varies due to change in its price, other factors remaining constant. It is known as variation. See, this one is one of the important one, that there is a change in price, not the other factors. Already we have seen the determinants of the supply. In that case, there are so many factors which can increase or decrease the supply. Here, only one factor is considered, that is the price. And if there is a change in price, there is an expansion or contraction of the supply. Let us see, the first one is expansion of supply. It refers to a rise in quantity supplied due to a rise in the price of a commodity. See, when the price is rising, the supply is also increasing. That means expansion in supply leads to an upward movement of the same supply curve. See, as you can easily show, you can easily get the from the figure that when price is increased from P to P1, quantity supplied will increase from Q to Q1. That means there is an upward movement. You have to show this by an arrow, and then we can show the by the upward action of the arrow, and so that the supply curve move upwards. Okay. Now the next one is the contraction of the supply. Contraction of supply refers to fall in the quantity supplied due to fall in the price of a commodity and other factors remaining constant. Here we can easily see that from the figure that when P is changing from P to P2, quantity supplied will be from Q to Q2. Again you have to show by the downward movement of the supply curve, and so we can say that if there is a contraction in the supply curve, or we can say contraction of supply. Quantity supplied falls from OQ to OQ2 with a fall in price from OP to OP2, resulting in a downward movement from N to M on the supply curve SS. It is known as the contraction of the supply. The next one is changes in supply. Now here the price remains the same, but the other factors that affect the supply will change, and resulting supply curve will change. So the very first is increase in supply. It refers to rise in supply of a given commodity due to favorable changes in other factors such as fall in price of input, fall in tax rate, technological upgradation, etc. Here one more important thing is that price of the commodity remains same, but the price of other factors of production, just like we know that daily petrol and diesel prices are changing. In that case, if there is a fall in price of the petrol, it will affect the price, that is cost of transportation will get reduced, and that's why due to this we can easily increase the supply. Okay, so that means the supply curve, see, according to the figure, we will go to the figure so that it will get clear from that. See the figure, price remains same, P is the original price and SS is the original curve. Due to change in other factors, quantity supplied will change from Q to Q1, and hence the supply curve shift from M to N. Okay. In that case, it is known as the increase in supply. The next is decrease in supply. How does the same thing? Decrease is the exactly opposite of the increase. That is, it refers to a fall in supply of a given commodity due to unfavorable changes in other factors such as increase in prices of input, increase in tax rate, outdated technology, strike by worker when price remains constant. Again the price is P here, quantity supplied is Q, and it will come down to Q2, and therefore our supply curve SS will show the movement, that is it shifts in inside the near the y-axis. So in that case S2 is the next curve, that is the it shows decrease in supply. Okay, I think all of you are getting clear about this. It's very simple. Only thing you have to remember that increase and decrease due to change in other factors, expansion and contraction due to change in price only. This is the main thing that should be remembered while studying this. Okay, now there are some terms: aggregate supply and supply. The definition is given, and according to that definition there are some concepts of cost and revenue which come under the definition. Okay, क्वेश्चन जो 2 आपका आता है definition का, उसमें ये बहुत सारे concepts की definition आपको आती है. So I just go through it. Total cost. The very first one is total cost. What is meant by total cost? It is a total expenditure incurred by a firm on the factors of production required for the production of goods and services. It is the total cost. That means it is total expenditure. Whenever the goods are produced or the commodities are produced, there are two types of cost, that is total fixed cost and total variable cost. Fixed cost in the sense that when the production is going under the factory, see, we have to pay the factory rent whether you are working in a factory for 8 hours or on Sunday if it is a holiday in the factory, or there are some days which are following holidays on the there should be no work in the factory, but still we have to pay the rent for that, and therefore it is come under the fixed cost, that anyhow we have to pay the rent, and this rent is charged as a fixed cost in the cost of production. And the variable cost, it depends. For example, electricity, that means at how much time the machine is working, the electricity we have to pay only that much at, and therefore it comes under the variable cost. So total cost, when I say the total cost, it includes fixed and variable cost both. Okay, I think the example is given here. Total fixed costs are those expenses of production which are incurred on fixed factors such as land. See, the land is also the fixed one because we cannot change the land. We cannot increase or decrease the land. And then the total, just for example, already I told you about the machinery. It is also the fixed cost. Total variable cost are those expenses of production which are incurred on variable factor such as labor, raw material, power, fuel, etc. Just now give the example of power, that is electricity. Okay. Now the second one is average cost. It refers to the cost of production per unit. It is calculated by total cost by by dividing total cost by the total quantity of production. That means how much goods are produced by expending the cost on it. That means total cost को divide करेंगे total quantity से, so we will get the average cost per unit. See, already it is given here, and always average cost will be referred or will be calculated per unit. Total cost is 800 rupees and 40 units of commodity has been produced. Therefore, it is 800 divided by 40, that will give us rupees 20 per unit. Now, marginal cost. See, I already told you about this marginal word. Whenever marginal is there, there must be one additional unit. Marginal cost is net addition made to the total cost by producing one more unit of output. That means, see, MCN is equal to TCN minus TCN minus 1. That means, what is N here? N represents number of units produced. MCN is the marginal cost of nth unit. Total cost is the total cost of nth unit. And TCN minus 1, it refers to the total cost of previous units. It is getting cleared with the example. Total cost of producing 4 units is 200 and total cost of producing 5 units is 250. Then MCN, that is total cost N minus total cost of N minus 1, that is 250 minus 200, then it will be rupees 50. See, marginal cost, we cannot say that it is per unit because average cost is always calculated in per unit. Marginal cost is we can say it is a per unit cost because it is a change in the cost that if we produce one more additional unit. Okay, I think all of you getting clear about this. Then the revenue concept I will explain you in the next lecture. Today I am ending my lecture with this. Just go through it. If you have any doubt, you can put a doubt in your comment section. This all the chapters are very important, so do study well, stay home, stay safe, and please do like and subscribe my channel. Bye.